From young talent to current superstars, here are some of the players who will be a part of NBA history, and some who definitely have the potential to get that far. Who else but the King to start off with? I mean, duh. If there ever was a player who was nailed on to be a future Hall of Famer before he even made it into the NBA, it would be LeBron James. The hype around him when he arrived in the NBA was insane, and the fact that he's not only delivered on that hype, but gone way beyond it is bonkers. Think about it. We've had so many superstars who were expected to be the next big thing in the NBA. Many wilted under the pressure, but no, not LeBron. A four-time NBA champion with 19 All-Star selections, LeBron James has won the MVP and Finals MVP awards 4 times too. He's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and only 3 other players in NBA history have more assists than him. There isn't any doubt whatsoever about LeBron's status as an NBA legend, and he'll definitely be remembered for years to come. But his journey is what made him so special, a journey that this youngster from Minnesota is just about getting started on. Yep, I'm talking about Anthony Edwards, who got his first All-Star selection this year. And it was very unfair that he had to wait for injuries to finally get that honor, because in Karl Anthony Towns' absence, Edwards has been the most impressive player for the Timberwolves. He is leading the line as if he's been here for decades, and if he stays on that upward trajectory, I've got no doubt that he'll join the greats in the Hall of Fame some 20 years down the line. It's a long road, no doubt, but Edwards has all the tools to become a great, and this season has been something of a breakthrough for Edwards, as he's constantly producing insane performances. But someone who has been doing that for a long time is Kevin Durant, another absolute legend who has his ticket to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame safely tucked in his pocket. KD may have been the second pick in his draft class, but the last decade or so has only shown why it was a mistake to pick him second. Durant's already a 2-time NBA champion and an MVP. Not to mention, he's already been to the All-Star game 13 times, and there's quite a bit left in his tank. Now, in the Valley of the Sun, Durant is chasing what would be his 3rd ring, and should he get there, I don't even think his haters can rob him of a place among the greats. Talking about championship hopefuls this season, you can't rule out the 76ers, and that reminds me of their 22-year-old starlet, Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, he's still only 22. Does that not blow your mind? He's already the 3rd star on the team, and that's only because James Harden is playing out of his skin these days. On his day, Maxey remains one of the most thrilling talents in the NBA, and he already has a 44-point game this season. This is impressive, and it also tied the franchise record for most 3-pointers with 9. This season, he's caught fire from the range, shooting nearly 55% from the corner 3-pointer, and given his athleticism and ability, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a future Hall of Famer. But back to another sure-shot future NBA legend. How about Giannis Antetokounmpo? Someone who has already achieved so much in his career, and he's still only 28. They call him the Greek Freak, and for good reason too. Already an NBA champion, Giannis is also one of the only 3 players ever to win the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same season. So you can see why I think he'll go down that route, right? In fact, many believe he'll be an all-time top 10 player by the time he hangs up his sneakers. However, the NBA has managed to import some seriously promising talent from abroad. This brings us to the next young star, Josh Giddey. Do you think it's a surprise addition? Wait until I tell you differently, because he's one of only 7 players ever, by the way, to average at least 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Oh, and a 3-pointer per game before turning 23. What are some of the other names? LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. So yeah, I'd say he's in pretty decent company, especially now that the Australian's improving his shooting from the 3-point range. But again, he's got a long way to go, doesn't he? How about someone who's nearly halfway there already? Nikola Jokic. The reigning back-to-back MVP in the NBA, Jokic is on course for doing something that only 2 players in history have ever done, which is to average a triple-double for the entire season. And it gets better, trust me. If he does average a triple-double, and with the way the Denver Nuggets are dominating the West, it wouldn't be a surprise if he won the MVP award for a third consecutive year. This puts him alongside 3 other players, or should I say 3 other legends, with Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. Of course, there's the small matter of winning the ring, but it shouldn't be long before the Serb finally gets his hands on one. However, he's not the only one averaging double figures in assists, as this young Indiana Pacers starlet is lighting the NBA up, Tyrese Haliburton, who is just behind James Harden in most assists per game this season. And given he's played 4 more games, I'd say he's very much in the running for the record. But more than just assists, Haliburton's impact has been absolutely wild this season. He's coming into his own and has become the face of the franchise in Indiana. In fact, Haliburton ranks 2nd overall among all NBA players in wins produced. Fantastic! And now, for a player who was already history, to be honest, and given how he was honored by the Lakers recently, it's only fitting to include Pau Gasol, who got his jersey retired by the Lakers this season, something that the Lakers don't do easily, given just how many legends they've had. But it only furthers my point and shows how impressive the Spanish 7-footer was for Los Angeles in their two-peat back in 2009 and 2010. Gasol remains one of the most beloved players, and his fantastic tribute to Kobe Bryant was a thing of beauty. It was a great event, and he deserved to have his number 16 jersey retired. And that brings me to the final entry on the list, this year's favorite for the Rookie of the Year award, Paolo Banchero. The Magic struck pure gold with their number 1 overall pick. Before the start of this season, Banchero has definitely come good on his promise. He's already become the face of the franchise, leading the Magic like a superstar. They were expected to be in a dogfight with the Pistons and the Hornets, but thanks to Banchero, the Magic are still only 3 games behind the Indiana Pacers, who are actually having a great season and are well ahead of the Hornets and the Pistons. A play-in spot seems pretty tough now that we're into the business end of the season, but Banchero's phenomenal rookie campaign won't go unnoticed. He'll definitely win the Rookie of the Year award, and if he continues like this for the next few years, I've got no doubt that he'll go on to be a part of NBA history as well. That's all I had on the NBA stars who will go down in history.